Hey guys, it's Jonathan again, and I want to go over a question that a lot of people, I would say, get hung up on, and that's the question of what can the property be used for. They focus on this, and they're like, "Well, I can only focus on a piece of land that you could put a house on it, and it has water, and it has sewer, and on and on and on it goes." And that's not true. So when you ask the question, "What can a property be used for?" it seems like an easy enough question, right? And it's of very high importance to actually know and understand what a property can be used for and what the best use of that property is. But it doesn't mean it has to be a specific use. As long as a property is useful for something, it can be a worthwhile investment. So if you get a property under contract, it's just a matter of making a phone call to the local planning and zoning department, and they'll give you the answer as to how the property can be used in just a matter of seconds. And sometimes you don't even need to go that far. Sometimes you can find this information out online. Sometimes you can tell just by other properties that are there. But at most, a simple phone call and you'll get that answer. And once you know uh, how it's zoned, what it can be used for. For example, if it's a residential piece or a commercial piece, or if it's agricultural, or if it's basically just a large recreational piece, or if it has certain things on it or not, a certain improvements such as water, sewer, things like that, you can easily find out then what can be put on it and what kind of activities are allowed for it. So after you find that information out, it's really not going beyond that. Sometimes we get in our heads, well, I've got to jump through this hoop, and then oh, now that I know this, I've got to do this, and then I've got to sell it this way, and that's not the case. All you have to do is ask yourself really one question at that point, and it is this property usable for someone that wants to do what it allows? So let me repeat that. Is the property useful for someone that wants to do what is allowed there? As long as somebody can use it for its intended use, you've honestly overcome the biggest hurdle in land investing. And the best part is, you don't need to know these people. You don't need to know how they want to use it up front, right? It's just a matter of asking yourself, is it usable for someone that wants to do what it allows? So, for example, maybe you get this large acreage piece in the middle of nowhere that only has a dirt path going in and out. There's no way anybody would ever put water or sewer or anything like that on it. And so you say to yourself, it's not usable. Well, I've sold numerous properties like that, and for good money, basically for all different reasons. People want to go hunting on them. People just want a place to go ride, dirt bikes or ATVs, things like that. So somebody was going to use it for what it allowed. And as I said, you don't need to know these people, and you don't need to know that up front, because after you know this information and it's time to sell, they're going to find you. And we'll get into how to sell it and how these people find you. But again, that's the biggest hurdle, getting that out of your mind. Because you could say, I'd never use a property like that in a million years. It doesn't matter. If you find somebody that will do it, then they'll buy it. And that's the key. So as long as there's someone out there, I'm going to keep saying it because it's really important. It's the only question you need to ask. Is the property for is the property usable for someone that wants to do what it allows? And I'm going to tell you 99 times out of 100, the answer is yes, and you've got a worthwhile investment.